We're early into Survivor Australia versus the world, but I feel that this season is already going beyond my initial expectations. Here are my takeaways from episode 2. There's not a ton of content from the World Tribe, but there's already seeds in the edit hinting at an all-women's alliance. We see Cirie and Parvati building a relationship with Cass. Meanwhile, Tony realizes that for him to survive on this tribe, he needs to play it like the pre-merge of Winners at War. He's got to lay low and stick by the core members of his alliance. Whenever this group goes back to Tribal Council, I'm confident that Tommy is the one taken out, as he's the one with the least legitimate connections. Then over on the Australia tribe, it's pure chaos. Initially, Shaunie and George appear as the outsiders of this group, but as the game moves forward, Kirby recognizes this vote as an opportunity to take control. She locks down Sarah as a #1 ally, which is really impressive given that Sarah has a connection with David outside the show. Kirby pulls in Shaunie and George as well to create this new majority. The problem with this alliance is that they cannot agree on the target. George would rather cut Janine to keep David around as a shield. Sarah would rather cut George as a way of preserving her alliance with David. And this dysfunction extends into the Tribal Council, where contestants are whispering and changing up their plans. The big thing that I want to hit on here is this conversation between David and George. I've only seen a couple seasons of Australian Survivor, so I only know the legend of the Golden God, but this move helped me understand why David is seen as such a great player. Despite David targeting George for a section of the episode, he's able to rebuild trust with him at the last second. David's major mistake this week was how he utilized that connection with George. David and George agreed to vote out Shaunie, and had they stuck to that plan, David survives this round. Instead, David flips the vote back onto George, and they advise George to vote against Janine. This new plan essentially puts David's entire game into the hope that Sarah will work with him. In the end, Sarah sticks by Kirby, and it's a 3-3-1 vote between David, George, and Janine. On the revote, David's side is outnumbered, and he's sent out of the game. One factor that's lost in all of the complexities of this Tribal Council is the fact that Luke held an idol. Luke knew that David's name was in serious circulation, so I'm surprised that he didn't play it. Looking towards episode 3, Janine feels like the obvious boot as long as Luke doesn't do anything too crazy with that idol. Anyways, I'm feeling optimistic about this season. Let me know your thoughts on episode 2.